What is good, ladies and gentlemen of the SFJ Nation? Hold on, let me get this right. And if the battery dies, y'all can just laugh at me because it might. What's good, ladies and gentlemen of the SFJ Nation and... Hold on, let me say it now. The Creek Squad. Shout out. Bow. Before I start, and I know I said that my last video is going to be the last video about this, but I ain't even going to lie, bro. This conversation that we had was so dope and so progressive and literally changed how both of us move and think that I had to do a video for everybody who didn't see the roast and review interview. I got to do like a quick little breakdown about that. But first, let me check my, somebody just sent me a message. But first, I need y'all to know that the Slime Shady EP is coming. The Slime Shady EP is coming. That's off tops. I need y'all to go listen to Crisis Screwed Up. Get that to 100,000 views. We already at 50, man. Whatever. What else is there? Oh, go stream that Script album out right now. Me and Script. So let's get right into it. Now, I'm wearing this Undercover Prodigy shirt because I'm going to be reacting to Mercury's, Hobson, and Tech's new song after this video. But I wanted to get this video out first. So last night, if you may or may not know, me and Upchurch had our first face-to-face, well, it was over the phone, but still face-to-face meeting ever. Now, I'm sure they said there's like 6,000 people watching at one time. It was crazy. It was big for Roast and Review, big for everybody. It was huge. So, the interview started with me and Upchurch, and I'm not going to lie to you. It started a little hostile. Now, I'm going to keep it a buck. When I came into the thing, I had one goal in my head, and my goal was to finally talk to this person like a man, figure out where our miscommunications came, and move on. Now, I think Church may have had a little bit different idea of what was going on, which probably isn't his fault. It was probably promoted to him a certain way, where it was more supposed to be like a debate and we battle and stuff. But I told the Roast and Review guys that I didn't want to do that. If we're just getting on there to fight and get y'all views and do another round of this, I could save my time and do something more productive. You know what I mean? That's what I kept telling them. And first of all, mad respect to Upchurch, bro, because how big he is to come back and do these things like and address me and talk to me and all this stuff, it means a lot, bro. It means a lot. Like, last night, Church told me that I have a lot of talent. He said the only reason I responded is because you're a rapper who is good. You're a rapper who can rap very well. And one thing that Church told me last night that hit me after the interviews, he said, you have the ability to make timeless music. That's where your skills is at. But we're going to talk about after the interview a little bit later. But anyway, so we get on there. Starts out a little hostile. We kind of going back and forth. Hey, man, what we talking? I'm staying calm because I go in there. You know what I mean? Debating is nothing to me. That's what I do. Debate like second nature. So we go in there. Church had some papers. He was ready to go in and he was ready to have a whole argument, right? But what I like is it seemed like halfway through the conversation, we started getting an understanding, which was the point of the whole thing. We started getting a mutual understanding to see why this stuff was going the way it was going, right? And I always said the biggest issue, and I said it in my last video, the biggest issue with me and homie is that we were talking through our fan bases, and we were talking to each other. So a lot of the stuff, and it's funny because you can watch the Roast Review interview. As the interview goes on further and further, you'll notice that both of us just had a wild misunderstanding that just kept getting worse and worse and more exacerbated. Yeah, I use it. Getting worse and worse as the fans would take it up and run with it. So we sat there and talked. In the beginning, we was kind of going back and forth. Then all of a sudden, we had this little conversation where we started talking about, what happened, and he gave me his honest word. What I wanted to do was, because I had heard, when he first initially dissed me or was shading me, that he wasn't trying to shade me, he was trying to shade somebody else. So I had been told that by other people, never him. And the kind of person I am, I'm a man. So I gotta see you when even if I've been told something, when I get to you in person, I want to ask you and look at your demeanor. So I asked him straight up, like, yo, Upchurch, I need to know this, bro. Did you genuinely think you was talking about somebody else when they said Screwface on the original Roast and Review interview? And he said, yeah. Now, whether or not you believe that or not, that's the word he gave me. I have no other thing to go off beyond that. So I said, so there it is, bro. As long as you can fully understand where I was coming from and why this was happening, then we could have an understanding. And I like in that interview, a lot of parts in that interview, he had debunked some things that I had seen some of his fans saying, which is weird because I'm like, wait, if Upchurch didn't say this stuff, why were y'all saying it? That's really weird. So that's why I had to ask him about that whole, like, bro, you understand, like, the original thing of this was not clout chasing. He even said, like, no, there was, I can't remember exactly how he said it. He's like, nah, essentially, this wasn't clout chasing. This is, I could see why you would come at me for that stuff. And then the part that he was trying to understand, too, is like, well, so why were you calling me racist? Were you race baiting? And I said, no, bro. You got to understand that the people who don't fully know you, because after you said that stuff about me in Roast and Review, I did research, and what I found was all the red lights of a racist person. And that's why I had to tell Upchurch, like, bro, even if you're not racist, you got to understand that other people have gone through their lives and experienced different things. So the race, you don't really get to tell people exactly how they feel on certain things. And I think he understood that further and beyond the more we talked, and he got it. What I really liked about the interview is it ended with a virtual handshake. Me and Upchurch were literally laughing together, joking together. He was making jokes about how many times he talked about booties in his diss track. And I ended it by saying, signing off as blue jean face, man. The thing that I understand now more than I understood before is how much respect Upchurch has. How much respect Upchurch has for me. I really thought before dude was kind of disrespectful, but we in the middle of a battle, we both are. But the things that he was telling me, he has wild respect. And I think that's why me saying something or my people saying stuff affected him negatively, because I'm so used to people being that big and being just pompous and not caring. And even if he has some traits of that or whatever, he clearly cares enough to at least what I think. And not, at the end of the day, I use that as something in the diss track, but when you could take all the bravado out and just speak, that's dope. That's dope. So after we talked on the interview, me and Upchurch had I think it was like an hour-long conversation, just me and him, no roast and review, just us talking. And bro, through that talking, man, I can say now that I know a lot more of that person, and I'm pretty sure he knows a lot more about me. We talked about the S&J Nation and the Creek Squad and seeing them fight and how we don't like that, and how we really need to, both of us need to put our money where our mouth is, because if we're talking about unity, or we talking about racism, or we talking about one person is doing racist stuff, or we're talking about, oh, I'm not racist, let's just show it. We come together and we're more powerful as a unit. You know, it's the wildest thing. Me and Upchurch for like 20 minutes talked about how YouTube, no matter what we feel about each other on this platform, we need to galvanize and come together. Because when the industry starts coming in here trying to infiltrate, Ryan Upchurch versus Screwface Jean, Creek Squad versus S&J Nation ain't gonna look like nothing. And he was saying stuff like that. I was saying stuff like that, and he was agreeing like, you're right. You're right. There is still a bigger overall arching thing that could affect either of us, and that's bigger than me and Upchurch. So I had to make this video to say, from now on, and me and Church both came together in this agreement. We don't want to see Creek Squad and S&J Nation fight no more. So if you really rock with either of us, and you still are in either person's comments doing negative stuff or posting negative stuff, and this goes for, I'm talking to S&J Nation too, I'm not going to respect that. No matter how much you feel, what you feel about Upchurch, it's the same thing with if we can forgive Dax, and I know some of y'all still haven't to this day, but if we can be cordial with Dax and he actually took money from me, then we can be cordial, we can be cool with Church, because this was some hip hop stuff. And we both agree that it was really dope that we could have this conversation anyway for race relations and stuff like that. No matter what you want to say about either of us, they said on Roast and Review that's some historic ish, man. Now, I don't know if that reaction is, if that interview is out yet. I shot Church my number yesterday. We both agreed there will be no more disses. There will be no more negativity. If you Creek Squad, welcome. If you S&J Nation, welcome them. Facts. We will get a lot more accomplished together than separate. No matter how you feel about the other person. And like I said, S&J Nation, you know from the jump, you might not feel Upchurch's rapping and stuff, but that boy got some soul when it come to the geet, boy, that boy got, and I promise you hating if you can't find a country song or a blues song he got that you can't rock with. So, Upchurch, my G, I appreciate the battle. I appreciate everything. Your fans did what they were supposed to do. My fans did what they were supposed to do. It just became toxic after a while, and both of us is tired of it, and that is saying a lot from Upchurch saying that because how big he is. So, hey, who knows? You might catch me and Church on a song together one day in the future. Yeah, man. Because my line is open to him, and he said his line is open to me. So, like I said, man, I don't know what else to say. Thank you, Church. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the mighty S&J Nation. Growing every day. And I know together now that this is going to be a problem. I know the one thing that we gain together is the industry looking like, we don't want. Because even Church was saying to me, like, bro, the funny part is the industry is like the government. He literally said this exactly. He said the industry is like the government. And then what they do is we are all separated and fight against each other. But they're so much bigger than us that we're a bunch of different islands that can, unless we come together, they can wipe us out if we all fight. You know what I mean? So, Grizzy, I got you, my G. Don't worry. You know I've been busy. I got you with the track coming. And after this Grizzy's thing, I know a lot of people talking to me about the Crip video, telling me to join it. I might make a whole video about it, but honestly, I feel like I've been battling all year, man. It feels like I've only gotten a few months in between to battle. And I think at this point, if anybody questions my pen, questions my battle acumen, you just smoking Pishkadell at this point. Because even Upchurch was like, bro, you nice. You nice. That's why we did this. You nice. So at this point, if anybody else lie, it's a lie. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm still thinking maybe I'll join in. Maybe I'll be like a special guest and just do one round with somebody and not move. But I'm going to keep it a buck. We need to focus on music, on Merzik. Get back to that Merzik. Get back to them Screw Saturdays. Get back to them Slime Shake. I will say I did drop a gang of stuff this year, though. Don't act like I didn't drop a gang of original Merzik this year, though. With all the singles I dropped the Script Project. I dropped Strictly for the Fans. I went on tour. Come on, Dougie. I appreciate y'all. We out this piece. We love y'all. Shout out to Creek Squad, Rec. Shout out to S&J Nation. It's family thing. Ohana means family. and I love y'all.